Okay, chief, you could pay all the electoral commission Nakachi. A year Jen Mensa or the Simia Betuga. And champion and a day a year the NCI loan ever to you or a year the parliament my shebegi fee. Now, I'm going say a engine too. Because a see I know able to is giving the opportunity to say the Ghana card in the only a source of a year. And I say identification year bit me say Okotua Bana and no be the only source of a year but say we now ultimate the ultimate Atuaba. Na nebi mu yes omun entiasie. But Jean Mensa didn't say me baba betuga. Wakasa yepen okasa kwa na eden. She was even worried kaka. Enti for my give benikuti ensem kaka. The electoral commission or the etuga no bi.
Kwai Atuaba no bi. So parliament, both majority minority plus speaker of parliament almost said no. Sansi electoral commission dia kotom na sebadwam. Say Ghana card inquiry the sole source of identification. Na zanu kwa na betim dia tro dia Atuaba no. MPs no said they disagree. Electoral commission chairperson, Mami Jen Mensa, electoral Mrasabaja for Masha Shemra, and Nelco Banka, Ghana card, Utukwaya, Ghana card, no. Anyone wants to Omoa and Damine, Adia, or Modimra Aye. Facebook no a Kesben FM, and now UTA or Kesben 93.3 FM, and Babia. Let's listen to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jen Mensa.
As a commission that is determined to conduct credible, transparent, fair and peaceful elections, we were keen to establish and uphold the integrity of the foundational document, which is the voters' register. Hence our proposal to use the Ghana card as the sole document for identification of a person's citizenship as well as age. Our experience from the 2020 registration exercise, ladies and gentlemen, showed that several minors and foreigners using the window of the guarantor system found their way onto our roll. To rid the register of minors and foreigners in 2020, the Electoral Commission established the District Registration Review Committees, which worked for several weeks to delete the names of minors and foreigners from the register. It took substantial time and effort to expunge the names of illegal persons from our roll. During the registration, some 40,000 minors and foreigners were challenged, and we managed to expunge some 15,000 minors and foreigners from the register. This number is one too many, considering that in a time past, we elected a president with less than 40,000 votes between the first and second runners-up. In our view, this should not be countenanced or tolerated by any quarters, as it has the potential of undermining the credibility of our elections. The question we asked ourselves is, why should we continue to use the guarantor system, which opens the door to corrupt and illegal practices and undermines the credibility of our register some 30 years after it was first introduced, and especially now when nearly 18 million Ghanaians above the age of 15 years have the Ghana card? How can we continue to rely on the guarantor system to identify a citizen? How can we continue to rely on the guarantor system to identify who a citizen is when Parliament has by itself passed a legislative instrument which states that for the purpose of identification of a citizen of Ghana, the Ghana card will be the sole document to be relied upon? And here, permit me to quote Regulation 7.1 of LI 2111, which states that a national identity card issued to an individual shall be used for a number of transactions where identification is required. One of the mandatory transactions stated in Regulation 7.1 is the registration of voters. It is therefore unfortunate that after making and passing a law that established the Ghana card as a sole means of identification of a citizen, we are by ourselves undermining the very law that we have made. As a commission, we find it unfortunate that our efforts to strengthen the credibility and integrity of our voters' register, and by extension, our elections, by the introduction of the draft CI, did not receive the support of Parliament. members of parliament were of the view that the NIA should fully operationalize its mandate before the CI could be considered. Sadly, as we all know, the NIA has not fully commenced its operations nationwide due to a lack of resources. That leaves us with no option than to rely on the current CI with its inherent challenges to conduct a voters registration exercise until such time as the NIA would become fully operational. Draft CI that is before Parliament, we do not intend to put back the guarantor system because we do not believe that the guarantor system has augured well for us. 30 years ago, when we took this journey and we did not have, a Ghana card, it was only proper that we adopt a system that would ensure that people who didn't have any documentation could come on board. 30 years on as an evolving democracy, we now have the Ghana card, and we are saying that we must rely on it by the very laws that Parliament made. That is the LI 2111. And it's the surest way of ensuring or guaranteeing the integrity of our register. We noted that in 2020, the persons who qualified to vote around the country challenged some 40,000 minors and foreigners. And it took a lot of effort, time, and money to expunge some 15,000 minors and foreigners from the roll. And this is one too many. Can you imagine these minors and foreigners shaping the destiny of this country? And we know that in the past we've had very tight margins. And so we must be committed as a country to work towards ensuring the integrity of our role and to ensure that only those who qualify, are on the roll. Where in this world can we go to the United States and say we want to go and vote for their president? And so why are we allowing that here? And it's a well-known fact that the guarantor system is a door and a window to allow such corrupt and illegal practices. It is well known. There's documentation available that in 2020, foreigners were brought on board from across borders. I myself saw a video of a vehicle with French nationals who couldn't speak any language. And so we are saying that we have evolved. Our mandate and our desire is to ensure that the register is credible. And by so doing, the intention is not to disenfranchise anybody. Having a credible register of persons who qualify, only eligible Ghanaians, is not to disenfranchise anybody. What and who we are preventing are foreigners and minors, and they do not qualify. And so we intend to maintain the draft CI.
So the Electoral Commission chairperson, Jane Mensah, I explained in the part. Now, ultimately at the point now, she's getting emotional. Ayabana yekoto Ghana for 2024 Kokromoti power. Yakwakoto abade yi omampani enim na se weja fokura yepe. Now the question on pay any abeja for mpani besi nkonya wa mansente dwumadi so na yenyina bobo hono ne se. Yama Ghana card don kwanya because minors nkwadanketoa any foreigners eba register nim na ntimi nya na efe no credible register. Ni ekwaya ne sanso a omo nya Ghana card constitution mo omo kwan so betimi ato aba as Ghanaians no. Bebre na so be disenfranchised. Na just omo nya kwan to aba ne be. Yei, yanko benkuma na so yanko defa.